How about those Green Bay mother-loving Packers?
Woo! Dude, I really didn't get to see much from this game. What went wrong for the Lions?
So I talked about this in the post game, which I recorded at like 2:00 in the morning last night, which, by the way, 60 seconds after this episode is over, it will be released. It's tough to identify because I'm obviously a Packers fan, in case you didn't know. The defense, the Packers D, especially the pass rush, looked phenomenal. Lucas Van Ness led the team with 4 pressures.
Nice.
Right? Then it was Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons played less than 50% of defensive snaps and still had 3 pressures. Of course, he had that sack, which Micah Parsons is terrifying. Dude, him come bursting out of like that group of linemen and chasing after Jared Goff, like, place went insane. So they were constantly getting pressure on Jared Goff. They sacked him 4 times. But in addition, because context does matter here, it's week 1, sure, whatever. But the Lions offense could not get it going. Gibbs caught 10 receptions, and it was like a historic low about the amount of yards that he got. I think it was like 30-something yards. It was 10 catches for 31 yards, which is like the least amount that any receiver has gotten or any player has gotten catching 10 receptions. But they kept throwing like a ton of screen passes, a ton of stuff behind the line. It was mostly short yardage, and the offense just did not look very good. Now, at the same time, remember that Packers run defense that they weren't supposed to have after they traded away Kenny Clark? The run defense was really damn good. I mean, they have 2 of the best running backs in the NFL, and they were held to 46 rushing yards. They held them to under 50 rushing yards. So you look at the Packers defense, and I could definitely pat them on the back and be like, holy crap, they did a great job. But there are questions of like, okay, is this going to be the result of Ben Johnson leaving, right? Is that going to have that kind of impact on this offense? And you can't answer that in week 1. But yeah, the Lions just did not get things going. And holy crap, the Packers defense looked pretty damn good. And the Packers offense was incredibly efficient. Like they were really, they lost time of possession. They did that. They had 47 plays on offense compared to 65 from the Lions. Like they looked pretty damn good yesterday. I mean, as a Packers fan, I'm beyond thrilled. You know, this was the first time we beat the Lions at Lambeau since 2021. So it'd been a hot second. It's the first time we've beaten them since 2020. Like I think it was December of 23. So this was a really big win for the Packers. It's within the division. Of course, the Lions coming in as a division champs. They've been doing well at Lambeau. But holy cow, man, I'm so impressed with the Packers defense.
Yeah, I mean, like when you see the Lions ran 65 plays on offense and only put up 13 points, Green Bay does it in 47. They still went for it on 4th down a lot, huh? Dan Campbell still got his balls, and they're 3 of 4 on 4th down. Okay. But yeah, I think holding Detroit to 46 rushing yards is probably the most impressive thing you guys did. Like I could see like Goff only having 200 passing yards and maybe the passing game not looking as dynamic without Ben Johnson there. But you think like, okay, even if we lose Ben Johnson, what are we going to rely on as the Detroit Lions? Sure. Our strong offensive line and the fact that we've got one of the best 2-headed monsters in our backfield, and David Montgomery burns the defense, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Sure.
46 rushing yards? I would be a little worried about that if I'm the Lions. Yeah. Now, maybe the Packers defense is just taking that next step forward. Who's your defensive coordinator again?
Jeff Hafley.
Yeah, he did a great job last year getting them right. They were solid against the run last year.
They were the 7th best in the league.
Yeah, now they might be top 5 this year. They might be top 5 defense.
And you talk about Micah Parsons, who, again, he didn't play a whole lot yesterday, but when he was on the field, and this is what we talked about, not only is he a really good player and they're doubling him and what have you, but it allowed others to get an opportunity to get after the quarterback. Devontae Wyatt had a really, really good game. Lucas Van Ness, I mentioned before, and Parsons was singing Lucas Van Ness's praises after, and he's like, he could do everything. He's going to have the best season of his career, and this was a make or break year for LVN. So the fact that, all these guys are getting involved, dude, it was pretty damn great. And even Dan Whelan, I got to shout out at him too, because punters, they rock. Dan Whelan, man, 3 punts, 164 yards, averaging nearly 55 yards a punt. And that's a game changer, man, because if you're pinning them deep, like the Packers played well on special teams, they played well on defense. Love had like 2 to 3 not great throws. He had one Anzalone dropped an interception, and then one went to Brian Branch, who returned it for a pick 6. And I was like, well, this is going to be the worst day of my life. Thankfully, that got called back because of a holding call.
Oh,
But
nice.
yeah, Love was efficient. He had a 2-play 65-yard drive, man, that resulted in a touchdown. And it was just, this is my team right now. They played pretty damn well. I'm so excited. So excited.
That's a good week 1. Anytime you can get a division win, week 1, 2, that's always a luxury.
Yeah.
Something the Chiefs would know nothing about at this point.
And now the Packers have to turn around, and the Commanders are coming into town on Thursday. So like those are bad. If the Packers are able to beat the Commanders and start off beating 2 playoff contending teams back to back, and then they get a little bit of a rest, and Micah Parsons gets to be more active after that. Oh, buddy. Like, this is Micah Parsons playing less than 50% of snaps. I'm excited. I am excited. It's week 1. We're going to temper our expectations a little bit. Not going to win a Super Bowl week 1, but this was a great game for the Packers.
Maybe the NFL should have the Super Bowl week 1.
Maybe.
Yeah. I dropped that in my recap there. Tantalus. One of the preseason stories was how good Davis Webb was calling plays for the Broncos when he had Stidham out there in the preseason. Sean Payton, I don't know. Broncos had you mentioned your special teams being good. The Broncos special teams, they gave up a near return, and Marvin Mims muffed a punt. It was a rough day for Denver special teams. So our offense didn't play well, the special teams didn't play well, and the defense was so good we still got to win. Broncos got a lucky win. Packers got a decisive win.